Usually it isn't. You never know with YouTube sometimes. There's Pacific Tier 2. There's Tier 1. It's loading up to the channel as I speak. And there's the party audio. That is working accordingly. The chat's up. The stream's up. We're all good to go. Absolutely fantastic. Well, hello everyone and welcome to round 13 of the PlayStation Pacific Tier 1 Championship here on Race Spec Esports. I'm Lane Everingham, your lead commentator for this event, and this time we're racing at Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Imola, as it's more commonly known, is a 4.9 kilometer 19-turn circuit that was created in 1953 and has been hosting Formula One Grand Prix since 1980. It's a legendary racetrack known for its demanding and hard-to-pass nature. There are plenty of hazards the drivers will have to be mindful of, such as the awkward curbs at the chicanes of Tamburello, Villeneuve and Alta. The main area to be wary of on the circuit is the high-speed complex of Acqua Minerale, formed by turns 11, 12 and 13. It's been an accident hotspot in online league racing ever since this track was reintroduced. Overtaking will be limited to the single DRS zone on the main straight that leads into the circuit's opening chicane of Tamburello. The rest of the circuit is either too fast, too narrow, or both to try and make any moves. As a result, this makes qualifying and the race start all that more important. But before we focus on qualifying, there is a little bit of news to go through first from the previous race in Australia. Now, there were no incident reports from what I could see, so the results stand from last week. GeForce Crichton is leading the championship on 266 points, followed by Spilly on 207. There's 59 points separating the two, with 3 rounds, including this one, remaining, which means if Crichton outscores Spilly by 4 points or more this race, he is Season 6 Drivers' Champion. Further down the order, we have GeForce Ford on 185 points, followed by Wogboy on 180. Plebs is 5th on 159. Then, completing the table, we have Fiery Hour, Karma, Chip, Leo, and Scotty completes the top 10. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes are leading on 416 points, followed by McLaren on 278. It's an awfully big gap between the top two in the Constructors' table. As a result, if McLaren don't outscore Mercedes by 28 points or more, Mercedes are teams champions for Season 7 Pacific Tier 1. The rest of the championship order looks like Aston Martin third with 259 points, followed by Williams on 221. They're 1 point ahead of Ferrari in 5th on 220. Completing the order, we have Alfa Romeo, Red Bull, Alpine, Haas and AlphaTauri at the bottom of the order. Now, I'm not alone in the commentary box tonight. I have my long-standing partner, GeForce Pato, returning after a few races. It's nice to have you back, Marco, here in the commentary box. It's always nice to have an extra pair of eyes looking over the racetrack, but I don't doubt that this is one of your favourite racetracks on the calendar, isn't it?
Well, buongiorno a tutti, benvenuti all'Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Dino Ferrari.
Okay, calm down.
Yeah. It was just a small introduction.
Oh, it's very nice.
Thanks for introducing me, by the way. Well, yeah, it's one of the, as you mentioned already, I guess, one of the most historical tracks in the calendar. Imola is like one of the best tracks and one of the most challenging actually for the drivers.
Absolutely.
Because it's so tight and it's full of ups and downs, downhill corners and uphill corners. This is basically an Acqua Minerale reference.
Yeah.
And even the penultimate corner, the Rivazza 1, this downhill corner, it's really tricky when you get onto brakes. But yeah, I'm really glad that Imola is back on the calendar and it deserves a place in the Formula One calendar because of the history that it brings up.
Yeah, absolutely. It has served as the place of many, many historical moments within Formula One. Some really awesome moments and some of the worst moments in Formula One history. I'm sure everyone knows what I'm referring to. But no, I agree. I'd like to see Imola be a more permanent place on the Formula One schedule. It used to be for a substantial amount of time between 1980, when it hosted the Italian Grand Prix, because Monza was undergoing track renovations, I believe, at the time, so they had to race at Imola. The race proved to be so popular that they decided to have a second race in Italy, and they would call it the San Marino Grand Prix, and they would host it here. And then in 2006, the race disappeared from the calendar. It just dropped off, and a lot of people thought it would never be seen again in Formula One. But then COVID came around and changed everything, and now it's looking like it might be a permanent spot again, because it's on this year's calendar, and I think it's going to be on the 2023 schedule as well. Don't quote me on that, I'm not 100% sure. But
yeah, they renewed the contract until 2025, I think.
Right. No, that's awesome. Because, yeah, oh, dear me, as Crichton's doing a bit of lawn mowing in his in his Mercedes-Benz. That's a lot of lawn mowing. See, if that was anyone else, they would have spun out and crashed into a wall, but he's able to keep that car dead straight even on the grass. My goodness, he's an alien. But, I agree with your quote that it's a very challenging racetrack, and there are plenty of areas that the drivers can be caught out. You've got Tamburello, obviously, with its tall curves. I've seen plenty of accidents there, and Acqua Minerale. That has been a major accident hotspot here at Imola. I don't know why, but that uphill section through turns 12 and 13, there's so little traction there. And the car really does want to step out on you when you go up the hill.
Yeah, exactly.
But, and with the rest of the racetrack... No, continue.
Sorry, it's really similar to the turn 8 in Portimao, actually.
Yes, that's a good example.
It's quite similar, like the exit of Acqua Minerale, of course, not the entry, but...
Yes.
Who's ever played this game knows what I mean.
Oh, I think we all do. I mean, that turn 8 at Portugal is... Oh my goodness, it is horrible to go through. The back end does not want to cooperate at all. There's no grip whatsoever. And it's very similar here through turns 12 and 13. And with the rest of the racetrack, it's very fast and narrow, so it's going to be difficult to pass. You really are limited to Tamburello with DRS. You might be able to make a move into the hairpin of Tosa, turn 7. Maybe. If you can get a run out of Villeneuve, then attack into Tosa. But, and maybe here into Ravazza, turn 17. Maybe. But, well, if you make a move there, you leave yourself vulnerable down this straightaway, down the main straight heading towards Tamburello. Because the car you're overtaking just gets DRS as Crichton jumps up to pole position with a 13.7. Okay.
Yeah,
pretty quick.
Well.
Oh, and speaking of Acqua Minerale, Roscoe Arm spins at that very section. Oh dear. Unfortunately, he doesn't impede anyone else with that spin. But yeah, he lost the back end.
No yellow flags over there? Wow.
And now they start appearing. Okay. But yeah, he was stationary for 10 seconds, but there was no yellow flags on the track. Oh, good spot. I didn't see that. No, yeah, there were no yellow flags whatsoever on the minimap, and I didn't see any on the track, so that was strange. I don't know why that was a thing.
Maybe another overtaking spot. As you said, like Rivazza 1 maybe could be a good spot, but I think the drivers will be a lot wiser, like staying behind and waiting for the DRS.
Yeah.
But maybe someone can pull off like a George Russell on Sunday at the Variante Gresini, which is the Variante Alta, the former Variante Alta, after Acqua Minerali.
Yep.
Quite tricky, of course, but it could be also another overtaking spot.
Yeah, I think if you want to make a move into that tight chicane, you need to get the run out of Acqua Minerale. You need to be right on the back of someone, and you need to be very committed under brakes as well to try and either dive it down the inside and try and stay committed on the outside, maybe, if you're feeling a bit ballsy. But, yeah, it's a tough track, Imola. It'll definitely test the drivers tonight, and qualifying will be absolutely important as well, now it's a Mercedes 1-2 as Fiery Hour has jumped up to P2, beating Spilly by 1,000th of a second. So, yeah, pretty tight at the top at the moment. Minus Crichton, he's 3/10 clear. already. So, as Isaac Kush is going to cross the line to set a 14.1. He goes 4th quickest, just behind Spilly. Alex Liddell has invalidated his flying lap. We'll look away from him at the moment. F1 Ferrari Pro in a Red Bull. That is a very cursed thing to see. This is sacrilegious. This is Ferrari Pro in a Honda-powered Red Bull. I mean, of course, at one point, Red Bull Racing were powered by Ferrari engines before they were powered by Renault. They were Ferrari engines in the back of those things, but not anymore. They're a long, long way away from that now. They're almost a works team with the Honda engine. As Ferrari Pro's up by 3/10. In the middle sector, he's a bit squirrely there at the exit of Variante Alta. Making his way down towards Ravazza now. Turn 17. Hard on the brakes. 3rd gear. Clips the apex around turn 18. Now, important that you get a nice exit so then you can carry as much speed down the straightaway as possible. And he goes 12th quickest with a 14.7. And how about this? From P2 all the way down, let's see here, to P13. Yeah, well, P14, yeah, if you want to include that. Oh, as G-Force Zach loses it, puts it into the gravel trap on the outside of Variante Villeneuve. There, 1 second separating basically the whole field at this point. It's really tight, but you do expect that. It's not a particularly big lap here at Imola. Only, as you can see, about 63 to 65 seconds long. So, 73 to 75 seconds long.
Yeah, but these times are actually like rapid. In general, like I'm just watching the time screens, and apart from Crichton, everyone is doing a really good job, because a 14.5 already is a really, really good lap. And the field is so bunched up.
It just shows you how high quality this is, as Karma has retired on track, I do believe. Right
I think
aboard.
he lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you were sitting in the real life Grand Prix? No? Over there?
Yeah, over there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You would have had a front row seat for that.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, 40's jumped up to P2. Still in the 14s, though, but he's beaten Fiery Hour by no less than 19 thousandths of a second. Hang on, Crichton's on the flyer, making his way out to Tamburello. We're right on board with the championship leader. See how he fares over this legendary racetrack. Coming out of Variante Villeneuve, what does the clock say? He's down by quite a bit, actually, by just over a tenth. So not the best first sector from Crichton. Making his way up the hill around the little kink of turn 8 into Piratella, turn 9 and 10, and down the hill towards Aqua Minerale, turns 11. Oh, and he's invalidated. And he's not happy about it. Ran wide at turn 11, just a little bit. And as a result, he got an invalidated lap. It's as simple as that. See here, ACW, the race winner from Pacific Elite. Not that 40 would like to tell you that. For those who watch Pacific Elite, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's not a proud moment at all in online league racing history. Can
you tell me what happened?
Let's just say 40 did something that he will never do for the rest of his racing career.
Oh, wow.
It was bad.
Okay.
Okay. Let's just say, as well, he was... ACW won the race, and he didn't lead a single lap. Except the last one. Okay. And when he took the lead on the last lap, it was about 100... Oh, it wasn't even that. It's about 50 meters before the finish line.
Oh, is that an Austria 2001 moment? Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, but we caught the whole thing on stream, and yeah.
I will check it out.
Yeah, right at the end, that's all you have to see is the final lap of Pacific Elite. That's all you have to see. And
okay.
Watch it all the way through, and trust me, you would not believe it. I didn't believe it. I was completely bewildered by the whole thing. But yeah, would recommend anyone in chat watching right now, Pacific Elite, round 13, Imola. Watch. It's unbelievable.
No. No.
You've seen it now?
Yes.
Yeah, that 40 wouldn't want to talk about that.
I feel so bad for him.
Spilly comes into the pits. He bows out of his flying lap, so he goes back in. Grimmy's getting ready. Got a few drivers getting ready. Same with Ferrari Probe. Hillez might be on a flying lap here. Currently 14th with a 14.9. That's fast for 14th. He's up by 700ths to the first sector. Really nice helmet as well. I like that one. Blue and a sort of very vibrant red. I like it. As he's coming around Piratella, 5th gear, uses a healthy amount of curb, then down the hill towards Aqua Minerale. 7th gear, flat out through turn 11, down to 4th gear for turn 12, nice and flat out through turn 13. Now the clock says for the middle sector, he's up by almost 2/10, a nice healthy improvement, using a lot of curb at turns 13 and 14. Charles Leclerc knows all about using a lot of curb at turn 13. Doesn't he, Paul Marco?
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of something people don't want to talk about.
No comment.
Yeah, no, that was the moment as Hillez crosses the line, goes 12th quickest with a 14.6. Man, that's fast. That's very fast for 12th. Izzat's making his way out to Variante Alta, making his way down towards Revazza. Coming up towards turn 17. Brings it down from 7th gear to 3rd. Puts the apex short shifting to find the traction. It's a nice exit as well. Not using too much curb. He'll open DRS, come around the final corner, cross the line. 2nd quickest with a 13.8. He misses out on pole position by just over a 10th. Meanwhile, Crichton has bailed out of another flying lap. He's invalidated somewhere. He should have enough time to do one more lap. Mr. 40 here is on a fly. He's getting a tow from a Ferrari from Grimmy there. So 40 would like that very much. Making his way through Variante Tamburello. It's a nice exit there, heading towards Variante Villeneuve. Chucks it in 7th gear, down to 4th gear. Using a bit of those yellow curbs on the inside. He's up by almost 2/10 to the first sector. Really big time in the first sector. He has to get the rest of the lap right though. And there's a lot to negotiate in the rest of the lap. Around Piratella, turn 9. Down the hill through turn 10 towards Aqua Minerale. Flat out through the right-hander, brings it down to 4th gear for turn 12. Uses all the curb on the inside of 13. Up towards the middle sector split. The clock says he's lost time. He's lost about 600ths in the middle sector. Fario, I've just noticed as well, has jumped up to P2 with a 1 minute 13.795. Now down towards Revazza. Turn 17, brings it down to 3rd gear, uses a little bit of the curb on the inside, around the 2nd, Revazza, using all the curb on the outside. He opens DRS, crosses the line, it's P4. Oh my goodness, he's missed out by a very, very small margin to take P3. Meanwhile, Crichton, current pole sitter, he's up by a 1/10 of a second to the middle sector, makes his way out to Variante Alta, heading down towards turn 16, the flat-out right-hander before Revazza. Now he heads into Revazza, turn 17, 4th gear, using all the curb available to him. Comes out to the penultimate corner, really tidy run there from our championship leader. He will cross the line to improve to set a 1 minute 13.705. He's got pole position at the moment by 900ths of a second. Oh, and Spilly has crashed out. He has crashed out. Where is this at? This is at Revazza.
Revazza too, yeah.
Dear, oh dear. So,
his lap was already invalid, but
yeah,
he went too hard on the throttle and lost it.
Oh, it appears Plev's got into trouble as well. He's destroyed his front wing on his McLaren, so yeah, the best he can hope for is P10, and I think that's what he will get. Everyone else is finished, and we're just waiting on Hillez to go back into the pits, and then for Plevs to eventually complete qualifying. So no, really, really tight at the top. I'll bring up the gap to leader. From P1 all the way down to P14 is 1 second. Top two are separated by less than a tenth. Really tight stuff here at Imola. Really good to see. Now we'll just be waiting for the final results screen from qualifying, and we can move to the race. You can see there, look at that, less than a tenth separating the top two, less than 2 tenths separating the top four. So we've got a Mercedes-Benz 1-2. It's not looking good for McLaren in the Constructors' Championship. I think Mercedes have got this based off where they're at the end of qualifying. Isaac Kush is P3 in the AlphaTauri, followed by Ford P4, Spilly P5, Leo P6, ACW 7th. Then the two Ferraris of Wogboy and Grimmy in 8th and 9th. Plevs completes the top 10. F1 Ferrari Pro in the Red Bull starts 11th, then Karma 12th. Hilles P13, then Roscoe Arm 14th, Scotty 15th, Bags Liddell in 16th. G4 Zach 17th, and Rude will start from the back in 18th. 1.7 seconds separates the entire field. Really tight at the end of quali. Really good to see. Now, Marco, what do you think? If it's going to be a dry race all the way through, we'll just see if it is a dry race. No. Well, I was going to ask what kind of strategy do we go with. Never mind. Don't think we have to worry about that. It is a wet race. Looks like
is it going to be a whole wet race?
Yes, that's the other question. I'm sure someone in the chat has said something. I just haven't been paying attention. So.
Yeah, Spilly said it's going to be whole wet.
Whole wet. Man.
Yep.
Well. Yeah, it's going to be a no-stopper. It's definitely going to be a no-stopper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's just going to be a race on track. I don't really know how this is going to pan out. Weather races tend to be a bit unpredictable at times. Sometimes the races are good, sometimes the races are not so good, and they get a bit boring. So, I suppose we'll have to wait and see. And I won't be surprised if we see Crichton pushing on this outlap. Try and see where the grip is before the race starts. But yeah, everyone's on the Inter. Yeah, everyone's on the Inter, so no need to have the tyre graphic up. Just keep the interval graphic. There's Crichton pushing around now. Farial following suit. It's not a bad idea to try and push on the formation lap. That way you can sort of feel the conditions a little bit. Feel your setup in the conditions and just try and get ready yourself for the race ahead. Yeah, it's a pretty intelligent thing to do. Rather than just get your tyres warmed up, actually try and feel where the grip is. And I noticed as well, 40 again is sporting an Ayrton Senna helmet. And I suppose rather fittingly enough, he's in a Williams as well. So it's quite fitting.
Yeah. The thing you were saying about pushing your tires is actually what the drivers do before joining the grid. Because, for example, on Sunday, all the drivers went out of the pits on wets and then pitted to put inters and see if it was inters or it was wets.
Yep.
And then after 2 or 3 laps, they went straight to the grid, basically.
Yep. Right.
So.
Fair enough. Learn something new every day. Bit of a gap in the order as well, I noticed, between, I think it's Roscoe Arm and Hilles forming. They're bunching back up now. But no, not much to go through, other than a quick reminder about the championship. So, if Crichton outscores this man, Spilly, by 4 points or more, he wraps up the championship here tonight in Imola. For Mercedes-Benz, well, they're in a really comfy position right now. So if McLaren manage to outscore them by 28 points or more, then they keep the championship fight alive. But if they don't, then Mercedes wrap up the team's championship here tonight at Imola as well. But everyone's lining up. Everyone should be ready to race. 18 car field for tonight. quite a healthy sized field. It's really good to see. We've got 32 laps in front of us and 10 red lights, and we are underway here in Imola, and it's a nice start from our championship leader, Crichton. Kush is trying to challenge Fiery Hour down into turn 1. He has the inside line, and I think he is through. He has the inside line for Tamburello too, and he is through into second place. 40 trying to battle with Spilly here. Spilly trying to make his way towards the front. He's still stuck behind Ford in 5th place. Plev's up a few positions. He's into 7th. Leo, he's in 8th place, followed by Wogboy, then Ferrari Pro. I think Grimmy has lost a few places. A bit of changing of places going on in the background. A big cut there. It's Gilles in the Alfa Romeo, who drops all the way down to last place. Fortunately, no major drama. But it won't be great for Gilles to be at the back of the field now with slightly dirty tyres after driving on the gravel. But no, a pretty nice, tame start. Good to see. See the drivers who've made the most amount of places off the start. We got Plevs up 3 and GeForce Zach up 3 places respectively. Leo down 2, Grimmy down 2. Gilles has lost the most. He's down 5. Midfield making the way out of Variante Alta. Trouble 3 from the looks of things. Leaders are now making their way around Ravazza and changing position there between Ferrari Pro and Wogboy. Ferrari Pro got that done before the braking zone, so nice move there from the Red Bull driver. But, Crichton has pulled away at the start. Only half a second separating the top 2. From the looks of things, we're not going to have any DRS this race, so if you want to pass, you've got to do it the old-fashioned way. And this track, it's not particularly friendly with old-fashioned overtaking. Very narrow, very fast. It's very tough to pass, especially in these sort of conditions. But,
yeah, I completely agree. Like, the only thing you need to do is like putting some pressure on the car in front and forcing him into a mistake. Otherwise, it will be really, really difficult to overtake on pure speed.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's going to be about those little unforced errors, and with these guys, with how good they are, they don't make too many unforced errors. So it's going to be a tough, enduring race for these fellas to try and make moves. Try and keep the car on the racetrack as well. Yeah, plenty of slippery areas for the drivers to worry about. You can still see from the minimap as well, and from the intervals, still very compacted field. No one's really broken away. There is a bit of a gap between Ferrari Pro and Wogboy, a change in position as well.
Grimmy and Karma side by side, that Rivazza and Karma gets the move done.
So he's up into 11th place. Oh, and Kush is closing in on our race leader, Crichton. Does he look to the inside? No, he stays behind. But he gained quite a bit of time down the main straightaway towards Tamburello.
Oh, Crichton has made a mistake. He's made a small mistake. Let's see.
But so long as he keeps the car in the middle of the track, he should be fine from Izzat. And yeah, into Toza. Izzat isn't really close enough to try and pass. So you can make those little mistakes, but you need to then recover, position your car accordingly, so then the cars behind can't pass. So yeah, I imagine we're going to see a fair bit of this. A lot of tight racing, but not too much overtaking, not just yet. We'll have to wait a little bit longer. Yeah, the gap has certainly increased between Ferrari Pro and Wogboy, who has sort of created his own train down in 10th place. He's got the likes of Karma, Grimmy, Roscoe Arm, GeForce Zach in hot pursuit of him. And here comes Izzat. He's right on the back of Crichton into Ravazza, but he's not quite close enough to pass. He'll get a healthy slipstream down the main straight. He gets a torrid run, though, out of Ravazza too. He is using battery. We can see that on the steering wheel. Look at him close the gap. Now he switches the battery off. He doesn't want to go for the move, it seems, here into the chicane. He'll stay behind. Play a patient game. Ooh, riding those yellow curbs on the inside. Bit of a dangerous game. Roscoe Arm getting by Grimmy. Down the inside there. Or as Grimmy takes the position back for 12th. Now GeForce Zach has closed in on the action. Well, really in a position, though, to try and attack just yet. See here with Izzat. He and Crichton pretty evenly matched. Same with Fiery Hour in third, and 40's still there in P4 too. So we've got a top 4 forming now because Spilly, he's lost a little bit of ground to the top 4. The gap 1.2 seconds. He doesn't have to worry too much about... Ooh, that was lag from ACW. He doesn't have to worry too much about that because there's no DRS. So the leaders can't pull away in their own little DRS train. Everyone's in the same boat when it comes to straight line speeds. So he can lose a little bit of ground as long as he recovers it later on. Crichton still leads by 0.6 of a second to Isaac Kush on the beginning of lap 5 of 32. Making their way through Tamburello now. Note as well that the gap has increased a little bit more between 40 and Spilly. It's now 1.4 seconds. And I noticed on the interval there, Roscoe, I think, was going to go for a move on Grimmy because his interval disappeared for a split second. So he was going for it, but he couldn't get by the Ferrari driver, it seems. Bit of a wiggle there from Fiery Hour as well at the exit of Tosa. Now around Piratella.
Oh, Grimmy and Roscoe touched. And Grimmy went off track, yeah. And G4 Zach actually took advantage of both and got P12. I don't know if Roscoe's got damaged though, because it wasn't light contact.
But no, that's bound to happen, I suppose, in these sort of conditions when you're desperate to try and make moves. You know, if you outbrake yourself by just that little bit, it's quite easy to hit someone. But fortunately, nothing major has come out from that. Grimmy is still very much in the race. There's a few places back from where he once was. Crichton out there setting fastest laps. He's done a 24.1. Cars behind haven't challenged that time, it seems. No one's beaten it. Still very much a fight at the front, though. Izzat is keeping up. Applying some pressure to the current championship leader.
Watch out, because Izzat has already 2 warnings. He gets the 3rd one now.
There we are.
I was about to say that. And
hey,
Fiery Hour has got a
commentator's
warning
curse.
already. I'm sorry.
Commentator's curse, Marco. You did it. You did it.
It was instant though, right? Oh my.
That's the first step to being a commentator. It's the curse. You did it. Oh, I'm very proud of you, Marco.
Sorry, Izzat. Sorry, Izzat.
He'll forgive you. It's all right. No, well, that was well pointed out. And I'm quite surprised that already after 6 laps he accumulated 2 warnings. I suppose there are quite a few areas here where you can gather up warnings. So
every exit curb, basically.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, not... Oh, maybe Variante Alta, you can cut a little bit too much. And cop a warning there. But yeah, it's basically every exit curb around the racetrack. You use too much and you get a warning for it. Oh, come on, Ferrari Pro. Go for it. Go. Do it. Overtake. Ah, not going to go for it. Let's see. Anyone else?
That was me on Sunday. That was basically me on Sunday waiting for DRS to be activated. Like what you said before.
Yeah, people weren't too happy with that, with how long it took for DRS to be enabled.
Oh my.
For the real life Grand Prix. It took a while for it to be switched on. Oh, running wide is Bags Liddell. Here comes Hilles and Rude. Oh, I can't get it done around the outside. Oh, Bags keeps the car in front. Hilles, he's close, but can't really make a move here at Piratella. Not down the inside anyway. So has to stay behind. But yeah, I would love to know the steward's thought process when it came to that. Like, why did it take so long for it to be switched on? I get there's safety things that you have to worry about, but still, like,
I heard from Leclerc team radio that the stewards were thinking that before like Tamburello, offline it was still wet.
Oh, I see.
So in case of an overtake, it would have been like not so safe.
Right. Okay.
At the entry of Tamburello, basically.
All right. So it was a safety concern then, from the steward's point of view. So, you know, if they believe that that was the right thing to do in terms of safety, then so be it. You know.
Everyone knows what happened last year with Bottas and Russell. So.
Yes, everyone remembers that. Yeah. It was quite the accident, just to see that thing basically spin itself into Bottas like that, so sharply, so fiercely. It was quite a ferocious little accident. Yeah. As ACW gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But yeah, the safety aspect of the new cars have been. Oh, hello. That's G-Force Zach spinning out. Oh, if I can find him, there he is. Spun out at Aqua Minerale. He gets going again, but he's lost a fair bit of ground. I can't see a damaged front wing, so I think he's okay.
Plebs is quite close. And I lost a bit on the exit.
Yeah, he was very close, so I saw that at Ravazza, but yeah. Unfortunately, even with battery and slipstream, he can't make the move at Tamburello.
Yeah, but ACW has got no battery left. He's got 10%. So if Plebs knew that, maybe would have been a lot more aggressive. But because of the lights flashing on the wet conditions, you never know if someone.
Yep, absolutely right. Oh, bit of lag there. But yeah, you're absolutely right. That's one of the tricky things in intermediate conditions like this. It would be nice if it maybe, I don't know, flash a different color or something, or extra lights would flash, I don't know.
Yeah.
So then the drivers can work out when they're low on battery and need to harvest energy. Because, yeah, in these conditions, it's really tough to tell.
Yeah. It was really difficult, for example, as a fan on the track, like on Friday, to see if someone was pushing or not, because the lights were always on.
Always on.
And I always had to check like the F1 live timing to see if someone was on a hot lap or not.
Yep. But, yeah, the F1 stewards have been playing around with DRS a bit recently. Like before Imola, there was the Grand Prix at Australia where we were supposed to have 4 DRS zones. There was supposed to be a DRS zone before turn 9, but that got removed, reducing the track back to 3. The 3 DRS zones that we've all become used to: the one on the main straight, the one before turn 3, and the one after the fast left-right. And yeah, it affected the racing a little bit, because you see cars get very close to one another into turn 9. And you just think, if they had that little bit of extra push with DRS, they probably could have made some moves there. But, you know, for safety reasons, it was removed. So, fair enough. You know, it's for safety. Yeah. And I guess they were doing the same thing here with deciding when to turn it back on. They prioritize safety over the racing, and yeah, it is what it is. So
maybe because of the lack of runoff area over there. Like, imagine Bottas Russell crash over there, would have been a mess.
It would have been a very, very big mess. Yeah, there's no runoff area to the right when you enter turn 9 at all. It's just wall. So if you get put into the wall there, it's going to be a fairly big crunch. So, but again, from a safety point of view, you kind of have to accept the situation. It is a bit frustrating because it does affect the racing a little bit, but you know, safety's paramount. So,
yep.
Meanwhile, Crichton's pulled away. He's got a almost 2-second margin. Now he does have a 2-second margin over Kush, and Kush has got company in the form of Fiery Arrow and Ford. So, as Grimmy gets a 3-second time penalty. These two have got the pace to keep up with Izzat. And I reckon Izzet might be holding these two up a little bit. Oh, Izzet loses the back end big time at Piratella. Oh, I thought he was going to have a mega accident then, but somehow he saved the car. Rather brilliantly, actually. Oh, you can see Faria looking. He wants to get by. He wants to chase after his teammate. Oh, that doesn't help. Stepping out like that at Variante Alta. Down towards Ravazza. C40 right there as well in P4. Coming out of Ravazza too. Heading down the straightaway now. Just before that we got this little corner there. Turn 19. That's the actual final corner. It's not much of a corner though. Just a little kink. Same with turn 1. This is turn 1 here. That little left hand kink. It's not much, but it is a corner on the official track map. So, oh, Fariawa.
Ooh, Fariawa.
40's close. Not close enough to try and attack into Villeneuve. Yeah, Fariawa.
Push is losing heaps of time. Like, he's lost 9 temps in the last lap compared to Crichton. Okay, he made that mistake, but still 9 temps. It's a lot of time.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, hello, Rude. Has spun. He's backwards. Oh no, he's driving the right way. Sorry. I thought he was driving the wrong way. Oh yeah, he's got a missing end plate, doesn't he? Yeah. On the right-hand side of that Red Bull, it is missing a front wing end plate. So he'll have pretty much 0 downforce. Oh, ACW. That's for corner cutting.
Watch out for Ford on the inside at Rivazza side by side with Fariawa.
Heading towards...
Still side by side.
Oh, it's tight on the exit between the two. But they get through. Kiefelsack getting a 3-second time penalty. It's a drag race to Tamburello. Who's got the longer legs, the Williams or the Mercedes-Benz? Fariawa has the nose in front, heading into the opening chicane. Ford has the inside line, and he gets in front. Fariawa, can he fight back? He's trying to... Oh, and off the road goes Isaac Kush. He crashes into the wall at Tamburello. He's our first retirement of the race, and we have a safety car.
Oh, my.
Well, that went from 0 to 100 real quick, didn't it? Ooh.
Yeah.
It was a
I'm
good
actually
battle.
kind of frustrated. Yeah, it's just broke the flow of the battle. This safety car.
Oh, okay. Karma's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car. Ouch. Oh, that's going to hurt him quite a bit. Now, there's no reason to pit.
Apart if you're last. Like Bags, I think Bags has got a lot of time.
Yeah, might as well.
To put some new inters on and still be P15, so I think it's a no-brainer for him to pit.
Yep, I agree. New tyres as well for G-Force Zach. Bolted onto the car. Down go the jacks. Away goes the Alfa Romeo. Yeah, I completely agree. I reckon Bags should pit, get on fresh tyres. They will be a little bit quicker. It won't be much in it, but it will be a little bit faster. Yeah, everyone's staying out, as they really should be. Tyre wear shouldn't be a major issue in these sort of conditions, so...
No, it's not.
Anyone else in front of Bags pitting? We'll find out. These fellas take it... Yeah.
Scotty, Hillis.
Bags doesn't.
Well, it's quite wise actually. He's done the opposite of the cars in front.
Yeah.
It's, he's gained 2 positions.
Yep.
Now it's up to them to overtake him again.
That's right.
Why do I have a white screen when I watch Hillis? What the?
White screen?
Oh, okay, now it's... Yeah, I had a white screen when I selected Hillis. Okay, now it's back.
Okay. Oh, I haven't heard of that one before. That's a new one. Oh, white screen.
Yeah.
Oh, you always see new glitches with this game every so often. They just appear.
Love it.
Yeah, it reminds you that it's a Codemasters game. And it reminds you need to be really, really happy with the new game coming out with F1 22. You have to be highly anticipating the new game and all that's going to be cracked out to be. Oh. What's your thoughts on F1 22, Mr. Pato?
Oh, well. Well, they didn't reveal much, actually.
No.
Like, this new F1 Live thing, I don't know how it's gonna be and what it's gonna be. I have no clue. I would love to see some gameplays, actually, but I think like the most important thing we need to focus on is, of course, the new handling model.
Yeah.
Because the cars are going to be quite different to drive. They're heavier, new tires. Also, I want to see how they will simulate like the outlap after a pit stop, basically, because of the new temps that the tires need to have before a pit stop. They are like now set to 70 degrees, and in the past it was 120 degrees. Right. As you could see, like on Sunday as well, when Leclerc was in front of Perez, actually making the overcut work, but then his tires were ice cold, and Perez got him back basically because of that. So I think this is gonna be like it must be a part of the game, of the simulation, but I don't know. I don't really know what to expect, to be honest. What do you reckon?
Oh, well, handling model will be an interesting thing to look at and to feel, if there is one. Like, oh, hello, off the racetrack is Ford. He almost did a Russell from 2020. But there might be a good chance they'll just recycle this old handling model, and Crichton's backed off for some reason. Like with Cody's, I wouldn't be at all surprised if they just recycled the old handling model from this game and just used it in F1 22. I wouldn't be surprised. They have done it before. I think from F1 2013 to 14, I think they used the same handling model. I think. Yeah. It was one of those games, like when they switched from the V8 era to the hybrid era. So yeah, it would have been 13 to 14. But I just don't know anymore. Like, I started league racing all the way back in F1 2019, and
me too.
I wish I enjoyed F1 2019 more than I have, to be honest. Because F1 2019 was a pretty solid game. I remember doing 4 seasons of career mode in it. I actually quite enjoyed it. And then I played F1 2020. I did half a season of career mode in that. I wasn't interested in it. I did a lot of league racing though, and I regret that because I don't know, league racing became quite a tedious thing in F1 2020. There was a lot of it. I did a lot of it, and it became almost a burden. So I told myself I should play a bit more single player stuff in this and try and enjoy the single player. And I've only done about 1.5 seasons of my team, and I enjoyed bits and pieces of it. Like, it's good old Formula 1 fun, but that's just the thing. It's old. It's sort of the same thing that we've had for ages now, and it's getting a bit stale.
Yeah.
And of course, we've had our online difficulties as well with F1 2021 and previous games as well. Like with the famous CWOS problem back in F1 2020, where we couldn't play online for a month. That was great. But yeah, look, from what I've learned from going from 2019 to 2020 and 2021, I shouldn't have any expectations for the new game. Just accept what it is and make the most of it. So,
yeah, exactly. Having lower expectations means that if the game is good, you get surprised by it.
Yeah.
Well, no? So.
And if the game's terrible, then you met expectations. So, but no, we'll see what it's like with the new game. Well, we've talked long enough. We're about to have the safety car restart. We're about to go back under green flag racing. Crichton's taking an awfully long time. And look at the field all bunching up. It's like a class photo. Everyone's bunched up, ready for a photograph as we're now back under green flag racing on lap 17 of 32. Few position changes up and down the order as Leo overtakes Ferrari Pro for P7. Meanwhile, Spilly's trying to have a go here on Fiery Hour down the inside into Tamburello. Oh, he cuts in front of the Mercedes. Mercedes cuts back onto the racetrack, but Spilly's in front. He's into third. Fiery Hour, he's looking to the inside here into Variante Villeneuve. He shoots in, doesn't get the move done though. He has to stay behind in fourth place. ACW right behind him. Oh, another big send here into Toza. Turn 7, they're side by side on the exit. Spilly gets a drive and he stays in third place. But Crichton, he's already got a 1 second lead to Ford. And Ford has got 1.3 seconds to third place Spilly. And it's an almighty train here. Behind ACW, we've got players Leo, F1 Ferrari Pro, Wogboy, Roscoe. They're all tightly packed together, heading through Aqua Minerale into Variante Alta now. Field clobbering the curbs on the inside of both apexes. They all get through unscathed. Now they head down towards Ravazza. Don't really think anyone's in a position to attack. Yeah. They're just going to stay in a long train here. Look at them file through one by one as they head back onto the main straightaway to begin lap 18 of 32. Just crossed over the halfway mark as well. We did a few laps ago, but basically got half the race to go. Fiery Hour looking fiery. This is very similar to Silverstone in a way. That race where we rode on board with Fiery Hour for quite a bit of it. He was looking left and right to try and make moves on Spilly, in fact, I think it was. But couldn't get it done. Now he has to try and do that all over again in wet conditions at Imola. Looking around the outside here at Toza. Couldn't get it done. I reckon if he could have held it a bit more on the outside, got on the power a little bit earlier, he might have been able to challenge Spilly for third. But Spilly got the car far enough in front. He got the power down early enough to hang on to third. So, up the hill, towards the chicane, Variante Alta. See, there's ACW just behind as well, half a second behind. Through the chicane, really clobbering the curves. Oh, I think there was a bit of contact, I think. I couldn't quite tell, but I think there was. It was very close between Spilly and Fiery Hour.
Yeah. There was some contact.
I thought I might have heard a thud, a small thud. I thought I heard something. So, oh, Spilly using all of the curb at the exit of Ravazza 2. And here comes Fiery Hour. Look at the speed in this Aston Martin. My goodness, he's just out-dragged Spilly like he was standing still. My goodness. That was without DRS. That was very fast. It was powered by.
Yeah. Spilly, for some reason, decided not to use ERS.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. I really don't know why.
He just decided, no, I'm not going to use any. I guess, I don't know. I don't know with Spilly sometimes. He's now behind Fiery Hour. Half a second behind. So already a small gap forming. And there's ACW, then there's players, Leo, so both Alpines in the top 10. Then Ferrari Pro in the Red Bull. Then Wogboy in the Ferrari. Then Roscoe completes the top 10 in the Williams. Both Williams inside the top 10. Drivers are now making their way through Variante Alta. See the drivers as well. Not shy of using the curb on the outside to turn 13. They want to use the full width of the racetrack, even if even in these wet conditions. They still use all the curb. Crichton. Oh, big old wiggle there for Leo is a weirdo. And here comes Ferrari Pro. He draws alongside the Alpine. He gets in front of the Alpine. Bags Liddell gets a 3-second time penalty. The Alpine strikes back into turn 1. He has the inside line for turn 2 as well. Ferrari Pro fights. There's contact there heading into Tamburello. And Leo gets in front. Ferrari Pro loses time, loses places. He's down to 9th. And here comes Roscoe try and take that position away from him. Round the outside at turn 5, down the inside at 6. A nice move, and spinning in the background is Gilles in the Alfa Romeo. Fortunately, ghosting is turned on, otherwise that would have been an almighty accident. He's now down into 16th place. Now, there were also yellow flags further up the road, I noticed, on the mini-map. Don't know if anyone else got into trouble. But, yeah, bad luck there for Gilles, losing it on the outside curb. Oh, and Ferrari Pro almost did the same thing at Aqua Minerale. Almost spun out. But he kept the car straight. Oh, well, gave himself a 3-second time penalty there. Cutting too much at turn 13.
And actually, Scotty is now in P10 with new tires, and he was actually 14th. Oh, and Bex goes off. He went off track. Ratatouille was about to crash into the road. It was close.
He's recovered quite nicely, and there's going to be a change in position here as Ferrari Pro gets by Scotty. Ferrari Pro into 10th. Oh, deep on the brakes, a bit of contact, a little bit. Just a little bit. But, Ferrari Pro now into 10th. Leo, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Oh dear. Yes, he's the leading car who pitted from the safety car. Now in 11th place. So he doesn't have to worry about tyre wear at all. He just needs to drive. Whereas everyone else, they do have to be a little bit mindful. They're doing an entire race on one set of tyres. That is a pretty long time. So you do have to be a little bit mindful of tyre wear. Through the chicane, ACW on the back of Spilly, 7-10 separate the two. Heading down towards Ravazza. ACW not really in a position to attack here. Can you get a nice run here out of Ravazza too? A bit of a wiggle there from Fiery Hour, saw that just briefly. He's pushing hard, trying to catch up to the likes of Ford and Crichton in front. Down towards Tamburello, not really close enough. Not really able to do anything at this point. Meanwhile, Leo and Wogboy close together.
Oh, and Fariawa. Fariawa was about to lose the car in the exit of Tamburello towards the Villeneuve. Oh my. Yeah, that was a really big moment. I can tell you that.
He's pushing hard. He's really trying to catch up to the two in front, try and get involved in that battle. Like, he can see 40. He's right there, just 2 seconds ahead. But closing up that gap to a guy like 40 is not an easy thing to do at all. Oh, and again, this time at Piratella, losing the back end on the outside curve. Maybe his diff has too high a percentage? Maybe. Don't know.
Yeah, could be.
He might want to play around with the diff settings just a little bit. And look at that again. Oh, he needs to turn the diff down a little bit. Just calm the rear a bit. Poor fella's losing traction every time he stamps on the throttle. Gets a nice... Oh, never mind. He doesn't get a great run out of Ravazza too. He was sideways as soon as he left the curb. Meanwhile, Ford's closed in. Look, half a second between the top two.
Oh, it's really close. Sector 3, yellow flag.
Ferrari.
It's a Ferrari. Oh.
Grimmy. Sorry,
Oh,
Paddock.
in front of the Ferrari grandstand. Oh.
Oh, and he's pitting too.
Oh. It is a deja vu.
You can hear the Tifosi sigh in the background. They cannot believe. Just cannot believe. Oh, look at that. Yeah, completely destroyed front wing. So, has to get a new one on. He's now down in 17th. We don't have many laps to go.
I actually don't know what happened between Crichton and Ford, because Ford has gained a lot of time and Crichton managed to pull up a gap of 1.2 seconds. This was the best he could do. Oh, and he's losing a lot right now. Ford is really close. Ford looks a lot more stable, on the throttle. But yeah, we know Crichton, so yeah,
that's
no
true.
wonder that.
That's very true.
Really close though. 3 tenths.
I reckon tyres has something to do with it here. Maybe Crichton has burnt through his tyres a bit too quickly. Oh, 40 though. Oh. Losing the back end at Ravazza too. He gathered it up well. He's closing in on Crichton, heading into Tamburelli. Not close enough to attack, but you can see he's very much behind the race leader, Rude, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Heading down towards Villeneuve now. See, using a healthy amount of curb, both cars. Now coming around Tozer, the hairpin. See that gap, it's not much at all. 4/10 between the two. And we'll see if 40 can close the gap through this middle sector. If his tyres are better, logically he will be able to close the gap through here. See the gap, 4.5. Through Aqua Minerale. This will be an obvious test. Half a second.
I don't want to.
4.5 minutes.
I don't want to give the drivers another commentator's curse, but the top 3 have got 2 warnings each.
Oh.
So watch out, because it's not over yet. It's not over.
That's absolutely right. ACW, another penalty. He's got 9, I think. Yep, he's got 9 seconds worth of pens. Not the most, though. Poor old Rude down in 14th has got 15 seconds next to his name. Not having fun with the track limits. Grimmy, 3 seconds. That's his 4th penalty of the night. He's up to 12. So he joins Rude in double digits with the time penalties. Sector 2, yellow flags. Grimmy is out of the race. Oh, no. And we have a safety car. On lap 25 of 32, 8 laps to go, we have a second safety car. And Leo's left the session. Well, not a bad time to leave, I suppose. He has the opportunity. And Karma gives himself another drive-through. Oh, my goodness, dude. Dude. Oh, my God. This was your chance. Man. Oh. Dude. Oh. Comes in. New tyres. At the ready. Oh, a new set of inters being put on. Oh my goodness. Well, that's a bit embarrassing. Just a little bit. Like, you got a drive-through on the previous safety car, he's got a second one. Oh dear. And ACW's left. As I mentioned, not a bad time to do it when the safety car comes out. So that means neither Alpine has a human driver behind them. Oh, does the AI pit? The AI will pit. The AI will 100% pit. Like, they've done 25 laps on intermediates. The AI will box. And Karma gets another one.
And what is going on?
What's Karma doing? Oh, the AI doesn't pit. Really? Oh. I thought it would. Oh, it seems that the AI is smarter than I thought. There you go. Yeah, I don't know what Karma is doing at the moment. That's his second drive-through. Maybe he doesn't have a time delta? I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. It could be a glitch because it's unlikely. I mean, knowing Karma, it's unlikely that he got like his 2 drive-throughs.
He's gotten 3 drive-throughs this race. All of them under safety car conditions.
I mean, I can get the first one, but
and the next
the second
2
and third don't make any sense. Yeah.
Because typically you become a lot more mindful about the delta.
Yeah.
You look
and
at
aware,
it more. Yeah, no, that's a bewildering one, that's for sure. Got no idea what's up on Karma's end. But he is more or less set to finish in last place, and Leo has rejoined. Good for him. And thank goodness for him, the AI that has been controlling his car did not pit him. Because he would be in 14th if it did. So... But I'm surprised by that. Like, they've done 20-odd laps on these tyres, and the AI has enough common sense not to pit. That surprises me. And we should be doing one more lap behind the safety car as well, because we have to let Hilles and Karma catch up, of course. So it's now just going to be the dash to the flag. And there's Leo joining back into his car. You can tell because the intervals have disappeared. So he's back behind the wheel of his Alpine. Oh, Graham oversteered and smacked the wall. Ah, that's unlucky. That's really, really unlucky. Now, I just noticed here. Can I drive? You most certainly can drive in our league. If you look into the description of this stream, you scroll down to want to join our league. There is a Discord link right there. If you click that, you'll be able to join the league. And then one of our fine admins will more than likely be able to guide you in the right direction. Either that or we have a bot in place that does that. Can't remember. It's been a while since I joined Race Spec. Almost. Oh goodness, how long has it been? 2 years ago? It would be 2 years ago. Been here for a while. So yeah. Anyone watching and hasn't joined Race Spec, you are more than welcome to, and the link is in the description of the video. Righty, everyone's caught up now? And we should be going back under green flag racing on the next lap, and we are. There we go. So that means we'll go back under green flag racing on lap 28, so that will give us 5 laps to sort this whole thing out. Top 4 have got no pens, but as you mentioned earlier, Marco, a few of them are sitting on 2 warnings. So all it takes is one mistake and they get a pen, and that will ruin their chances to try and win. So those drivers need to be mindful, but they need to be on it as well. They can't muck around, because every driver will be going for every opportunity available to them. Alright, everyone's set and ready to race. Crichton goes. It is now lap 28 of 32. 5 laps to go. The gap is 4/10 of a second between the top 2. Faria right behind as well. And Leo making a move on Plebs down the inside into Tamburello. Oh, there's the ghosting ACW. And through goes Leo is a weirdo into 5th place with a slight assist from his ghosted teammate ACW. Now, through Variante Villeneuve. Yellow flags are about, not really sure why, but they were about. Around the hairpin of Toza, Plevs has overtaken the AI of ACW. The gap between the top 2 now 7/10 of a second as they go into Piratella turn 9. Half a second back is Fiery Hour in 3rd. Spilly's there as well in the fight in 4th place. Woke Boy getting by ACW. Dropping down through the order now, that AI travelling very slowly as the AI does. Through Variante Alta. Down towards Ravazza now. The gap is 4/10. 40's right on the back of Crichton now. He's gained quite a bit of time through this middle sector. Crichton defends the inside line. The first showing of defence. A bit of contact there in between the 2 Ravazza corners. Coming out of the penultimate turn now. Crichton has a bit of a wiggle. 1/10, half a tenth separating the top 2 as they start lap 29 of 32 here at Imola. Fiery Hour has joined the party. So has Spilly. Down towards Variante Tamburello now. 40 around the outside at turn 2. They're side by side. Crichton keeps the lead. Oh, and Fiery Hour is a bit balked there, and Spilly moves into 3rd. Could he take 2nd away from 40 into Variante Villeneuve? He's looking, can't go for the move though. Through the chicane, up towards the hairpin. It's now half a second between the top 2. Leo in 5th place has joined the party. Plevs in P6 with no penalties. It's just behind as well. You can see there the orange McLaren in P6 up towards Piratella. Gap 8/10. This is where 40 gains quite a bit of time. He did it last lap. He'll try and do it again. Down the hill towards Aqua Minerale through turn 11. Then climbing up the hill through 12 and 13. The gap shrinks to 5.5 tenths towards Variante Alta, the highest part of the racetrack, through the chicane of 13 and 14. Back down the hill towards Ravazza, 40, just under half a second behind. Not really close enough to do anything at this point. He needs a really tidy run out of Ravazza 2 to try and line up an overtake into Tamburello. Can he get that nice run? He uses plenty of curb, but Crichton pulls away. Crichton gets the better exit, but it's only 4 tenths between the top two with 3 laps to go. Down towards the opening chicane. Ford closes the gap. He's not using any battery though. He knows he can't make the move just yet. He has to play a slightly patient game through turn 3. Towards turn 4, 40 lost time. Not a great run through Tamburello. Up towards Variante Villeneuve now. Turns 5 and 6. He's still pretty even with Crichton through this opening sector. But it is that middle sector. The middle sector is key for 40 at this point. He does gain a bit of time on Crichton. Spilly's still there, hanging on in 3rd place. Fiery Hour in 4th. Leo's in this fight, but with that 3-second time penalty, realistically he isn't. Through Piratella, then down the hill towards Aqua Minerale. Ford closes the gap a little bit through turn 11. Then up the hill once again through 12 and 13. The gap still hovering at about half a second, now 4.5 tenths as they cross the 2nd sector split of the lap. Through the chicane of Variante Alta. Look at 40, he's closed the gap well and truly to 3 tenths of a second as they head down towards Ravazza. Is he close enough to make a move? I don't think so. But he needs to try and perfect the run out of turn 18. Try and get himself in a position to try and make a move. Crichton, meanwhile, has to be wary of this. He will try and defend if 40 gets himself into a position to attack. 2 laps to go here at Imola. Spilly has lost ground to Ford. It's now turning more so into a 2-horse race. Unless Crichton and Ford battle here into the chicane. 40 stays behind. He doesn't want to battle just yet. Now coming out of Variante Tamburello. 40 just 2.5 tenths behind. Towards Variante Villeneuve. They chuck it in through turn 5. Bring it down a few gears through turn 6. Then up the hill to Tosa turn 7. 40 still just hovering behind. Ready and waiting. Crichton doing a nice job still keeping that car on the racetrack. Keeping his chances alive for a race win. Around Piratella turn 9. Then through turn 10, the back end stepping out on Crichton's Mercedes as he gets on the power at the exit of turn 9. Roscoe Arm gets a 3-second time penalty. He's down in P8, and that will cost him a little bit because Scotty in P10 doesn't have any penalties next to his name. Through Variante Alta, turns 13 and 14. The gap shrinks to 2.5 tenths once again. 40 won't be close enough to attack here. He wasn't close enough last lap. He won't be close enough this lap. Again, he just needs to get that run out of out of Ravazza 2. Does he get it? The answer is not really, but he is close. 3 tenths behind. It's now the final lap here at Imola. Fiery Hour sets a new fastest lap with a 23.2. Here comes 40 in the slipstream, dumping all his battery. He's looking to the inside, can't get it done though. Into Tamburello. Crichton hangs on to the lead, but only just. He loses the back end at turn 3, losing him a little bit of time as they head towards Variante Villeneuve. Here comes Ford. He looks, but he can't go down the inside. Turn 5 is just too quick. Heading towards turn 7, the hairpin of Tosa. 40 has lost a little bit of ground to our race leader. 40, can he get a nice exit here? He does. By comparison, he gains a 10th. Oh, but that secondary part of the exit wasn't too good there from 40. Through Piratella, turn 9, then down the hill again through turn 10. Now the critical part of the circuit, Aqua Minerale. 11 into 12 and 13. 40 closes the gap, uses all the curb available to, and the back end stepping out of the Williams. Here we go into Variante Alta. 40 unable to make a move. 40's got one shot, one opportunity to make the move, and that's into Ravazza, but he gets a shocking exit at the exit of Variante Alta. He's looking, he can't go for it though. He's just simply not close enough. Coming around the penultimate turn now, turn 18. It's been a stunning performance from our leaders, but it seems to be G-Force Crichton who takes the win at Imola, and he will become Season 6 Pacific Tier 1 Drivers' Champion. And Mercedes, that will wrap up the team's championship as well, so congratulations to both parties. Man, a tight finish and a very nice race.
Yes, yes, indeed. What a race. Especially on the last 5 laps sprint race, we can call it this way.
Oh, dear
Yeah,
me.
what
Look at this at the
yeah.
main straight. It's a
Oh
graveyard here. My goodness. Everyone's decided to have an accident right at the line. Oh, look at that. 2:10 separating the top 2 at the end. Less than 1 second separating the top 4. Oh, and Ferrari Pro's given a random 20-second time penalty for some reason.
Well. Should be desync, I hope.
He got a 20-second pen for ignoring yellow flags. I'm sure they'll get removed. But, yeah, that was certainly a nice finish. 40 gave it everything. He just wasn't quite close enough, I'm afraid. And so did Spelly. He ends up finishing 3rd. Really nice result, but I'm afraid that's just not enough to keep the championship fight alive between himself and Crichton. Scotty, given driver of the day, we'll see his performance in the final results screen. But first, the podium celebrations. It's another victory for G-Force Crichton and Mercedes-Benz, and this will wrap up both championships in their favour. He really has dominated Pacific Tier 1. He's done it once again. G-Force Crichton, our champion. So, the unofficial final results for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. G-Force Crichton wins by 2/10 to G-Force Ford. A tight fight between the G-Force compatriots. At the end of the day, it is Crichton who comes out on top. And Spilly, 3rd place, solid effort. A very solid effort from him all race. A deserving podium indeed. Fiery Hour P4. Plebs P5 from starting 10th. Solid effort there. And also to note, Fiery Hour scored fastest lap, so he gets that extra point. Wogboy P6, then Scotty from 15th to 7th. Really nice race from him, making up 8 spots. Same with Oscar from 14th to 8th, making up 6 spots. Leo is the widow, 9th. G4 Zach from 17th to 10th. Bags Liddell from 16th to 11th. And Hilles, Ferrari Pro, Rude, ACW, Karma, and our retirees, Grimmy and Isaac Kush. But of course, those 20 seconds, or 20 of the 23 seconds next to Ferrari Pro's name are bound to be removed. So, oh no, we get to invite the usual 3: 40, Crichton, and Spilly. Been quite a common trio to invite into this party for podium interviews. They've been a really consistent bunch, those 3. I'll get to the showroom just quickly. There we are. Now I'll go blue screen for a few moments. We'll invite the top 3 in, and we can have a nice little chat about what happened tonight. Add players. Where is everybody? There is 40. Where is Billy? Where is he? There you are. And of course Crichton is offline. He is always offline. Because he's a pain like that. There we are. Hello, Ford. Hello, Crichton. Hello. Oh, not too bad. Congrats, by the way. No. Not at the end. Oh, does Spilly still have a broken mic? Oh, I am, so. Oh. Ouch. Alright, well, we got these 2 in, so. we'll interview Mr. Ford and Mr. Crichton. We'll start off with Mr. Ford. A bit nicer to finish second this time around, huh?
Yeah, that's a positive second place. Yeah,
No,
that's great.
but no, you drove quite nicely today, I have to say, in these conditions, and you put on a nice show for us right at the end.
Yeah, I tried to make it as exciting for me and you as I could.
No, it was really nice to watch. But how was that overall, from qualifying to the race?
Quali was good. I mean, like, I've set an 8 and I'm in P4, so I guess,
Yeah.
I pretty much pulled everything out of the lap that I could have. But yeah,
Yeah.
it just shows you the competitiveness of
It's
the
kind of
field.
insane.
Yeah, and Zach with the 7 was absolutely ridiculous.
That's nuts. Yeah.
That is nuts for sure. So yeah, I thought with an 8 for sure I'd be on the front row, but yeah, to be fourth was definitely a big surprise. So, and especially in the wet, I was kind of I wouldn't say disappointed because obviously like I still put out a pretty good lap, but
Yeah.
you know, I knew I was going to be in for a bit of a tough one after that.
But no, you started from fourth. How was the start for you?
I had a pretty slow getaway actually. Both myself, the top 3 had a really good start. Both myself and Spilly kind of think we held everyone up a little bit off our start and kind of just made a big roadblock. So yeah, I mean I was able to keep P4 off the start, which yeah is obviously important. And then I guess it was just a matter of waiting for a mistake from the guys up ahead.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I imagine for most of that it was just sort of damage limitation. Just
Yeah, exactly right, exactly. And not getting penalties, of course. So
Yeah.
I think I did quite well in that regard. I'm, as I said, usually quite renowned to get a penalty here and there, so it was good, to keep it clean. But yeah, at the start I found it really difficult to follow quite closely to the cars. But obviously at the end that was a completely different story. As I was saying to Zach before, he definitely had the pace for me for the first 3/4, first 25 laps of that race, but I feel like after that safety car restart, I definitely had the pace in him, but it's just so difficult to overtake in the wet. Zach put his car in the right places and you can't really get past, so
yeah.
I guess full credit to him for that. But yeah, I think it was really good racing all around, especially in the wet.
Yeah, I completely agree. But we noticed that you were quite a bit quicker through the middle sector compared to Zach. Like, you seem to be pretty even through the first sector, and in the middle sector you gained time. How were your tyres, out of curiosity? Because you did
the tyres were fine. They finished on like 30%. It was
really
a percent per lap, so it was really easy to pull them to then. But yeah,
man.
Back to what you were saying about the sectors, like where I was quicker and whatnot. I'm not sure what win Zach was running. I was running 10.8, I believe.
Right.
So yeah, I truly felt quicker than him in the first. I thought I had less aero than him, so I felt like I was quicker in the first. But yeah, maybe my driving towards then just made me seem quicker through the second and third. I know definitely through that back chicane, I was a lot quicker. I was just more aggressive on those curbs than him, whether that be due to ride height or whatnot. But yeah, he was quick in the right places, which is what you need to do. So yeah, he did well.
No, I just figured it might have been a tyre life thing, because we know Zach likes to toss the car around a bit.
Yeah. No, he would have been about 35% as well, I reckon, something like that.
Yeah, right. I just didn't realise it would be that low at Imola. I'm surprised by that. How low that is.
Surprising. It's a pretty, I wouldn't say a hard dead track in the drive, but it still cooks your right side of the car. But it was easy as. Yeah, definitely a no stop, easy.
Fair enough. But Marco, have you got anything to ask 40?
Yeah. So, GG, man.
Thank you.
First of all, it was a really nice race, a really nice scrap between you and Zach. I know you guys respect a lot each other, but I want to spice things up, just like a good journalist does, no? Last lap, you had a good run, towards Acqua Minerali and towards Variante Alta. You were really, really close. And then you had a bad exit, but I noticed, did you have this same feeling as well that Crichton kinda parked it in the apex, not to let you have like a good run towards Srivatsa. Crichton is already laughing, so yeah, maybe.
What's that back chicane called? The one with the high curves?
Variante Alta, yeah.
Yeah. There, I feel like he definitely did target on Apex a little bit, just to kind of block my run a bit.
Just a little bit.
I kind of felt that, but yeah, that's all fair. You know, it is what it is. It's up to me to negotiate that. He knew I was quicker through there as well, so it's pretty smart driving from him, I think. But yeah,
yeah.
It's one of those things. It was I tried everything. I nearly got him at one stage, but yeah, there's I just needed maybe a couple more laps, something like that. Yeah, I felt I did truly everything I could. It was just good defending.
Well, fair enough.
Okay.
No, a good bit of journalism, Marco. That was really good. I like it. But final question for you, 40. Next week we're going over to Mexico again. How do you think you're going to fare?
I don't mind Mexico. I think it's quite a good track as long as I don't get penalties there.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be the big issue for me. Again, like, I guess this track here is quite penalty prone there, but yeah, I don't mind it. I think it'd be a good track for racing, if it stays dry, that is.
yeah.
You got the long DRS straights, but yeah, it has to stay dry. If it's a wet race there, yeah, it could be a long one.
And yeah, you can't get 9 seconds worth of penalties this time around.
No,
it's not Formula Endurance where you have
max.
71 laps to do something about it.
Exactly right.
So,
exactly.
and how competitive it is too. Yeah, no, can't get penalties now. But no, best of luck for next week. But congrats on a really hard fought P2 finish. So well done, mate.
Thank you. Cheers.
Also, nice center helmet. I like.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a little tribute, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I like it. It's nicely done. But we move on to our race winner and Season 6 champion. Congratulations, Mr. Crichton. You've done it again.
Thank you. Yep, Season 6. Let's go.
What's that, 5 in a row?
Five in a row, yeah.
5 in a row.
So yeah, quite happy. Stuff with that 5 in a row, so yeah, we'll take that. It was good.
And no, you drove quite well, I have to say. But 13.7. That's pretty quick.
Yeah, not a bad lap at all, Smeg. I have to say that middle run I did was the first run I did was a 7 as well, and that was a really, really good lap. That was way quicker than what I'd done in my one just practice session before. And then final run, last couple of corners lost about probably half a tenth, so I really wanted a 6 because I think I said to Bailey, I was like, surely I can get a 6. He was like, I don't know. So I was trying just a little bit harder, and I think I came up with a 7.05. So.
Yeah, it's a low 7, so that's a consolation prize. It's a low 7.
Not a 6.
But it's not
exactly. Here we go. But no, I was quite happy with that lap indeed.
I'd be too.
I was quite surprised how close fire he was to me though. So
I was
his lap was very nice as well.
Between you two, it was very, very close at the end of qualifying.
Yeah.
I think, if I remember, it was the top 14 was separated by a second at the end, so quite close. Really good to see. And the whole field was 1.7 seconds. I remember that. But no, you had a really nice race start. I remember.
Oh, race start was amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like my launches all season have been quite good and stuff in the dry and wet, so I was pretty confident we should be able to get off the line, which we did, which was nice. And that first stint there was really just trying to slowly break away from Kush, which we managed to do. I think after about 10 laps or something, managed to break him, and I was like, alright, here we go, let's just settle into a little groove. Because I think by that stage I had 2 warnings as well, so I just wanted to try and get myself sorted. And then, managed to pull 4 to 5 seconds, I think, and safety car came out, which I don't know, like I kind of knew that it was going to happen at some stage, so I wasn't too mad, but that came out, and
and then built up Did you build up a lead? A little bit over Ford, if I remember.
Yeah, a little bit, just a second.
Yeah.
Also on Bailey for a while.
And then the second safety car came out. And then you had the 5-lap battle with 40 at the end of the race. How was that?
I thought Bailey might have got me on one lap, so I was quite worried because my main goal was just try and not get that warning because I would have finished, I think, 4th or something with a pen, and I needed to beat Spilly by 3 points or something. So that was my main focus. I was just trying to leave a little margin. And then, I think with about 3 or 4 to go, Bailey got so close to me, and I thought, here we go, he's going to have a lunge, which he did, and somehow my car was a little bit quicker in a straight line, and yeah, then he tried around the outside, and I was like, not quite. We'll try and use those yellow sausage curbs and force him out there just a little bit, which we managed to do, and and then...
because of that, he balked your teammate, and Spiller got through third. So, yeah, bit of a yikes, but... You know, it happens. That's racing. That's,
tactical from the Williams crew there.
No, that was actually a really nice finish to watch between you two. It was good fun.
And then last lap came around, and I think we were heading up to that top chicane, and I was like, "Come on, just stop it on the marks."
Yep.
And saw Bailey was right up my bum, and I knew he was really good in sector 3, so I was like, we'll brake a little bit. Yeah, I was like, we'll brake a little bit harder, just slow him up, just wait for him to just tap me a little bit, then we'll go.
Yep.
So just waited for that little bump, then straight away.
Went for
just gassed it. Yeah, went for it. I was like, yep, all done, signed, sealed, and delivered. So super stoked to get the win, but yeah, nice battle there with Bailey, and looking forward to doing it in the last, we got 2 races left now?
2 races left, yep.
Yeah, looking forward to going to battle again.
Marco, anything to ask champion?
Yo, hi Zach. Congratulations first.
Cheers, thank you.
So, 7 wins out of 13, 11 podiums out of 13. So, yeah. I think these numbers talk by themselves. I don't need to say anything more about it. So, GG. I was actually wondering why there was a lap basically where you had like a 1.2 lead from 1.2 seconds lead to 40, and then you lost something like 7 tenths. Did you make a mistake? Did you make a mistake or?
Yeah, I think I made I'm trying to think where I made a mistake, but.
That was my PB lap too, mate.
Yeah, actually, that might have been when Bailey had his PB lap, and I think I made a little error, but I think Bailey was just...
Exact to the second, so
I think Bailey just caught up a little bit on me that lap, but yeah.
Alright.
Rightio, there we go. So, well, I cleared that question up, because, Marco pointed that out, that the gap shrunk quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, he called me so quickly on one lap, and I was like, oh, geez, Bailey, settle down here, please.
Yeah,
don't pass me just yet.
Turned up the wick on one lap.
Exactly, I was quite happy, I'd say, with my 1 second lead for about 10 laps, and then
when
he
it
was
shrunk to half a second,
exactly, and then I started to sweat a bit more, and I was like, the track's starting to get a lot narrower. It started to get a lot. That's it, and I was pushing pretty hard, like through the double right. I think in the middle sector, I was chucking it in there really, really hard on a couple laps, and I was like, I should probably turn that back a little bit, just in case. So but stoked. What's that? 5 championships in a row. So super happy and looking forward to next season.
Well, first off, we got the final 2 rounds, and next round we're over at Mexico. Now, considering you've won both championships now, you've won the drivers and team championships. Next round, is it just send it at Mexico?
Yeah, let's send it, because I think I'm on 3 wins in a row, so let's try and make it 4 and 5. So we'll see what we can do, but I think my record's 6 wins in a row, so I'm trying to chase that one down.
Fair enough. Well, Mexico's a decent qualifying track, so no pressure.
I'm sure that you'll be watching me, Lane. I'm sure the camera will be on me and I'll be feeling it. But
maybe for half a lap or something.
No camera time for you next week. That's
so Mexico, looking forward to that one.
Oh, good to hear.
Hopefully it's going to be dry, because then it should be another great battle.
Yeah, I agree.
And stuff, just DRS train the whole time, so looking forward to that. I don't think we've been there for a couple seasons too, so...
No, we were there last season.
Were we?
I remember.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you won, alright.
You won.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, it'll be my first return back to Mexico in a couple seasons then, so I'm looking forward to getting back there and just going to battle.
Well, best of luck for next week then, but for now, congratulations on the win and congratulations for sealing both championships. Well done tonight, Mr. Crichton.
Cheers, thanks boys.
But I think, Marco, I'll wrap everything up. Pretty nice stream, I think. Pretty nice race, all in all.
Yep.
Especially for a wet race. Typically they can be a bit boring, but I think this one was pretty interesting. So, no, it was good. And thank you for coming back. You've been away for a few weeks, so it's nice to have you here alongside me again.
Yeah.
So, it's
I
always
hope I can be back for the last 2 rounds as well. I can be here.
good to
Let's see.
hear, because I always love having an extra pair of eyes looking over the racetrack. It's always quite nice. But I think, everyone, with the race finally over, it's time for us to end the stream. Tune in throughout the week, as we've still got plenty of racing to come here on Race Spec Esports. But for Pacific Tier 1, we'll have to wait until next week. Until then, I've been Lane Everingham. My co-commentator, as always, is GeForce Pato. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you for round 14 of the championship, the penultimate round at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez for the Mexican Grand Prix. Goodbye.